Rockeyez would like to welcome Chris Ashlock. Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. Tell me a little bit about the band you're in at this particular time. I know you were in another band before this, prior to this band, and you moved on to this band. Tell me a little bit about the background of the band and the history and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I used to be in another Kansas City band called Van Lade. They're still going now, but back in 2010, I decided that I wanted to sort of strike out on my own and do a more European power metal style band. So I got with some guys I knew in the area, Tim Long, who at the time was our singer, Jason, who plays bass, and a guy named D who plays keyboards. We put the band together summer 2010, found a drummer named Steven in, I want to say, winter of 2011, and kind of worked for a couple of years just writing songs with the intention of putting together a full length. And we actually recorded our full length the first time and had it ready for release in 2012 when we went through a pretty big lineup change. Tim ended up moving to second guitar. We got a friend of Jason's named Scott, who used to play in a band with him years ago, to come in and sing. And then that's the lineup that recorded the album that we just put out a few months ago.
Right. And that's Field of Elysium?
Yeah.
Yes. I listened to it a little bit this morning, and I really liked it. It got a little mellow keyboards in there and stuff like that. Typical power metal stuff, but I really enjoyed it. You could really mellow out to it. At least I could, So
cool.
Congratulations on that. Tell me a little bit about online metal promo.
Well, friends of ours in a band called Zephaniah from Fort Wayne, Indiana, they actually suggested this guy Ben, who works for online metal promo, and we just kind of hit him up, and it was really easy. We just said, "Hey, let's do something. We want to promote our album." And Ben's been really cool about getting our name out there. Being that we're from the middle of the United States, it's not really a power metal centric part of the world.
Right.
So we definitely needed some help, and he's done really good, getting our name out there.
Cool. Now let's go back to the album again. How long, like you said, you had it done in 2012, and then it was just released in 2014. Was there any changes from 2012 to 2014?
Yeah, I guess I should have said the one we released is actually different. We re-recorded the entire thing.
Right.
Because we kind of figured if we got a new guy singing, and just because of the overall change and also the quality of the original album, we decided, we'll just go through it and redo it again, and I think we're happier for it. And I can say it definitely sounds better,
right,
this version. So
cool. Now, how's the music scene out in Kansas City?
Weird. It's really bizarre because it's definitely very diverse,
right,
but very disconnected.
Uh-huh.
Like our metal circle, I guess, of bands that we kind of play with,
mm-hmm.
we're all friends with each other, and those are basically all the people that we see in the scene. People that play in bands are our friends, and that's usually who's at shows.
Right.
But there's also like another kind of metal scene, more, I don't know if you want to call it kind of metalcore, more of that style metal that's completely separate from ours.
Right.
So there's a lot of diversity in Kansas City, but everyone's really disconnected. For some reason, all our separate circles, we don't mingle.
Right. I know. Yeah. I know where I live in New Jersey, New York. It's basically people show up and they got their arms folded and like, just go ahead and impress me. I don't think you can. That kind of attitude here. Like if people even show up, it's pretty pathetic. But when bigger bands come in, like they play this place called Starland Ballroom. That place is packed. But I mean, like the little clubs are really dying out here, and not too many places to play anymore. Is it that way in Kansas City too?
Yeah, I was gonna say we've been to a couple of shows recently. We went and saw Sonata Arctica back in October,
Right.
and there were people there. There are definitely metal fans in Kansas City. It's just these people are either unaware of the local scene or they just have no desire to
Right.
come out and see the bands or anything like that. I really don't know what it is, but you see people at metal shows, and you kind of wonder, like, well, where are all these people? How do they not,
Right.
How are they not aware of any local scene? And that's why bands usually fight each other to try to get on these bigger bills when bigger bands come to town to get that exposure.
Right. I guess you're getting some exposure from this new release from the Underground to Above Ground Volume 1.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I guess it's just a compilation of bands that are under the online metal promo roster.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I don't know too terribly much about it. We just posted about it, I don't know, a week or so ago.
Yeah,
it looks like there's some pretty cool stuff on there.
Right. Cool. Do you feel that you need a major label or a label at all anymore in the music business?
Yes and no. My kind of thoughts on the whole label thing are that really all they can do for you is promote.
Right.
There really isn't the financial backing that, was offered up to bands of 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
I know there's like 360 deals where they take everything of what you make and that's how they provide promotion for you or whatever. So I guess on a promotional front, it can be beneficial, but we're in such a weird place right now at the industry. Who knows?
Right. Tell me, this release I think came out in June or around that area. How is people taking to it?
Surprisingly well. I know of the people outside of Kansas City we've talked to, a lot of people surprise has been the word that I think represents most people's views of it. They're kind of surprised to hear something like this coming out of, the middle of America.
Right.
And like I said before, is not the place where you find power metal or really any kind of European influenced metal. I think Kansas City is more of a death metal kind of area.
Right.
So people have taken to it surprisingly well. And as far as within the city itself, most people we know, friends of ours, they really like it. And these are people that are not metal fans either. So that makes me really happy if we can kind of reach the non-metalhead as well as the metalhead.
Right. If you had a chance to jump on a tour, who would you like to, go out with?
I think it would be cool for, I don't want to call them a lower band, but there's a band from Florida called Seven Kingdoms.
Uh-huh. I heard.
One of the only other bands that I know of anyways in the U.S. that's really nailing this like European-style power metal thing.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of the band, and I would love to tour with them, and I think it'd be a cool kind of, American power metal band leading the way kind of thing.
Right.
So I would love to tour with them one day. As far as bigger bands, Stradivarius, Sonata Arctica, Blind Guardian, all the power metal greats, I think would be awesome to tour with.
Cool. So what are your hopes and wishes for this band?
Well, kind of where we are now, I think getting our name out overseas is probably going to be the big goal for right now, because power metal is it's not as big in America. It's weird that it's not as big as it is in Europe, because it's got the elements of, I don't know if I should say this or not, but it's kind of got the elements of pop music. I mean, it's really catchy. So I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't caught on quite, maybe not yet anyways. Mm-hmm. But I think for us, the goal is to kind of break out into Europe or South America, Japan, territories where it is more popular.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can grow from there and, at some point tour there, and then later on maybe come back home and be able to make a name for ourselves here.
Pretty cool. Well, congratulations on the new disc. And
Thank you.
would you like to say anything to the fans out there in conclusion?
Well, cheers, guys.
Cool. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye, Chris.
Bye.